Here we are in week 6, day number 2, Joshua chapter 8, the first 13 verses. I want to ask a simple question. Does a country that disobeys God's laws, do they end up failing economically? And the countries that obey God's laws end up prospering economically? Or how about war? Do disobedient countries get beat in wars, but obedient countries prevail? Well, you would think I'm going to give the answer yes. And that's true. The Bible's very clear about it. But it says that it happens in due season, not immediately. There is an immediate connection between disobedience and economic problems or military problems. In fact, Paul talks about this in Galatians chapter 6. Read through it there. He says, don't be deceived. God can't be mocked. A person reaps what they sow. Now, every farmer gets this. When you sow a crop, there's a gap between the sowing and the reaping, and the same is true for a nation. Same is true for us individually. If we sow disobedience in our life, ultimately we will experience the wrath of God. If we sow, on the other hand, obedience, we will ultimately, not often immediately, experience the full pleasure of God. 9 times in the Old Testament a phrase is used. It says that God is slow to anger, abounding in love. Isn't that an amazing phrase? I won't go through. You can look it up yourself, all the times that phrase is used. But I want to talk about one particular usage. It comes in the book of Joel, the prophet Joel, chapter 2, verse 13. It says, God's slow to anger, abounding in love. He is a God who relents from sending calamity. In other words, he wants to give us time to repent and change our mind and obey. But there's a point at which we will reap what we sow. That's true of nations. This morning I want you to recognize it's true for you too. You may get away from it for a while. You may be disobedient to God and not see any results in your life for a while, because God is slow to send calamity. He doesn't want to. But don't be deceived. You will ultimately reap what you sow.